Hi everybody, it's Heidi with the Weathered Fence Post and welcome to our channel. My husband Steve and I are resellers in the Raleigh, Garner, North Carolina area, and we have two booths, one at Antiques at Gresham Lake in North Raleigh and one at Collected Treasures in Garner. If you're ever in North Carolina or you're here local to this area, please stop in our booths, take a look at all the great treasures that we found, and see what we brought in that's cool this week. What we love to do on this channel is we love to take you out hunting for the treasures, and then we like to review all the treasures in the haul. Today's video is going to be a haul video. It's going to come from all different kinds of sources because everything has just become very chaotic in the last few weeks. I've been very busy with a lot of things, and so all my hauls have gotten a little mixed up and some things have already gone into the booth, so it's just, I'm not going to be able to say this is from this specific place. It's getting a little crazy around here. Okay, so a couple of things. So what happened was we had to move my son out of the Greenville, North Carolina area. He was going to college there at ECU, and he has decided to, he's been there for over 4 years, so he's decided to come back home to this area. Going to take about maybe a year and figure out what his next steps are, and I think maybe do some online schooling. Got a lot going on in his personal life with his father and an illness, and so we're just going to be here to support him as he goes through that. It was a rough move out. Unfortunately, the other parents, I'm not going to get into a long discussion about it, but the other parents didn't help out. The other roommates basically just moved their own rooms out, and this house was like we did a complete house clear out in 12 hours in 100-degree weather over the 4th of July weekend, and it was rough. It was rough. I am not going to sugarcoat it. It will go down as one of the toughest weekends of my life. And I hope I never ever have to repeat something like that again. So at any rate, it did cement for me a question I have always had. I've always wondered if I wanted to ever get involved with house clear outs because you could get a lot of treasures out of them. You do have to do the hard work of clearing the house out to get those treasures. No, I have no interest in it whatsoever. After that weekend, I realize it was college age students, but any house clear out could be like that. It could be any situation that you're going into, and it is rough. If you have ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't ever done it, I suggest maybe you go volunteer and do it first before you get into the business of it, because I can't even explain to you how hard it was. It was extremely hard, and I'm still recovering. It's about a week, well, let's see, it's Wednesday, so in 2 days it'll be a week, and I'm still trying to recover from the trauma of the house clean out. Okay, so anyway, we got through that. I do have some good news to share. In our booth, if you're here local, in our booth down at Collected Treasures, as you know, we have been doing very well down there this past year. Sales have been very good. The community has been supporting us very well. We've been through a rough time down there. It kind of goes all the way back to the pandemic starting. And then right after the pandemic, the whole mall went under construction. They're doing a great big road project in that area, so there's been a lot of construction out front. It has just been a rough haul for about 4 years, but our customers have supported us so well there, and the mall owner has been fantastic supporting the vendors there, and it's been interesting to get through it, but we got through it, and I feel like we're getting on the good part of it now. We're coming into the part that's going to be good, and sales have actually been really good down there through it. So I don't like to toot my horn too much, but we actually were the top seller last month in that booth, and that is the first time in any mall that we've been in for the last 10 years that we were the top seller. So I was pretty excited about that. And an opportunity came up. Our neighbor was moving out of the booth next to us, so an opportunity has come up for us to expand our booth down there. So we are going to expand. It's not going to be a big expansion because I like to take it slow. I've done a big expansion before and then went back down. So I decided, okay, this time I don't want to go full-blown like a double booth size. We're going to take like half of the booth that was next to us. So it's just an additional 4 feet, but we're excited about it because it's going to open up our booth to a wider space and give us an opportunity to bring in more furniture pieces, do a better job at our staging of items, set up a better like vignettes inside of our booth. So I'm pretty excited about it, and we're doing this right before we head into the big selling season, you know, in every booth, you know, right into the fall and the Christmas season. So I'm excited about it. So I have started hunting for items I'm going to use to stage in the booth. We're doing Christmas in July down there right now, and once we're done with that, I'll be pulling the Christmas in July items out, and then I'm going to start working on staging the booth for the expansion. The expansion will be on August 1st. So lots going on, very busy. I've got a short haul here for you. Let's go over some of the things I've been finding to do that expansion and start working on our fall booth. You guys, you just won't believe it. I am so proud of Steve. He actually saw something on the side of the road and pulled over and picked it up. I can't believe it. It's like a miracle. Check this out. He saw this sitting on the side of the road. I don't know, maybe the name attracted him, the Heidelberg. But it is a vintage, I would call this like a tankard, wooden tankard. And it is so cool. It's not in that bad of condition. It has like, these are copper bands around it, and it's wooden. It's really cool. And that's like, you know, engraved in there, wood burned in there. And then with it were 4 mugs. Now these maybe need a little bit of work, and I think we have some copper little nails that we could use maybe to set these in place. Now I've never heard of worms, but apparently that must be a region in Germany. This one says Munchen. And again, they have been out in the weather a little bit, so the bands are not staying in place so good. I don't know if I'm going to spend time fixing them or just sell them the way they are at a really reduced price, because hey, they were free. So anything we make on them is complete profit. I think they're so cool. They would be great to stage in the booth, you know, like for Oktoberfest. I couldn't believe it. So hats off to Steve for, you know, doing a roadside catch. I was cleaning out Matthew's room to get ready to bring stuff back for him, because we're using his room as where I do the business, where I do all my inventory and working through things like that. So I was cleaning that all out to give him room to come in, and I forgot this old picture was in there. This is like an old fraternity picture. I thought it was really neat, and we're gonna go ahead and get that in the booth. So I'm doing a little hunting in our house too. I found this fantastic Remington typewriter. Oh, I love it so much. And it does have its case. It actually attaches inside the case so that it won't move if you want to use it that way. But the keys work, the return works. I think it's fantastic. It's got a great look to it. I can't wait to stage this in our booth, and I think somebody would really, really love having this. This would be great staged with, we've been actually doing pretty good with those blind date with a book. We did some of those, and I think I showed those to you, and every single one of them has sold. And then another vendor brought in a whole bunch into the mall too, and she said every one of hers are selling. So that's actually a pretty good thing, this blind date with a book. So I think it would be kind of cool to stage those near this typewriter. I love this piece. It's awesome. I got this at Antiques at Gresham Lake, and I'm going to take this down to Collected Treasures. The other vendor that was selling this gave me a fantastic deal on it, so there was still room for me to make a profit on it. Well, I was looking at the time because I have to go to work. I walked into Goodwill yesterday, and look what I found. This cute blow mold ghosty. He's so cute. I don't think he's vintage. He actually had, on the bottom, he had a battery operation area, whatever you call it. It was where you put the batteries, and so I tried it out. The batteries didn't work, and then I removed the whole thing because it was all corroded inside and ruined, and I said I'm not gonna mess with it. And we actually have a light fixture that fits right under here perfectly with a base that he can sit right on, and he doesn't move, and it's just perfect. So we're probably going to keep Mr. Ghosty for our own decor. I do like to collect the vintage molds, and so I think we're going to go ahead and keep him. I only have one other ghosty like this, and I really like them. So in fact, when I put that one out at Halloween, I'm always afraid somebody's going to take it off my porch and take it away from me. But I'm like, what's the point of having them if you can't enjoy them? That's what they're for. They're to put outside and display over the holidays. So I was so happy to find Mr. Ghosty. He was only $4.50. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's this really great bamboo ladder. Really great bamboo ladder. I'm always looking for a good ladder. This is a nice sized one. Always looking for a good ladder to use in our booths to stage our linens. Linens are always a challenge to stage. When you pile them on top of each other, people dig through them, which you want them to do. That's fine. I don't mind them doing that, but then every week you got to go in and refold all your linens and everything. It's not really the most ideal way to display linens. So I always love it when I can find a ladder and hang the linens on the ladder. Usually the ladder doesn't stay there very long. It usually gets sold, but and you're back to piling up your linens again. But we've sold many ladders in our booths, and I'm sure this one will sell too. I actually picked this up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. They were having their sale, the 4th of July sale. Now there is a crack here on the side, on the inside of it here. I don't think that's a big deal. I will put a price on this. I probably will put a bigger price on it than I normally would because I want to use this for staging, but if it sells, it sells. I got it at a great price. It was only $15. I thought that was very reasonable for something that I can use as staging in my booth and possibly even sell. We kind of have like a little joke that for some reason when we have furniture in the booth that isn't selling, if we put a little blue bird on it, for some reason it suddenly sells. So I have these little Westmoreland bluebirds that I found at a yard sale that I went to. I did a video of the yard sale that we went to. And I found these little Westmoreland bluebirds, and there's 2 of them. I have a pair of nightstands up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. They also have been at Collected Treasures that have not sold. I'm shocked they haven't sold. I think they're beautiful. I'm going to put a picture of them up right here so you can see them. I think they're fantastic. The price I think we have on them is $72 a piece. They're not overpriced. For some reason, they're not selling. And so little bluebirds are going on those stands, and let's see if it still holds true that the little bluebirds help sell the product. This is another piece, believe it or not, that I picked up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. The person was having a 50% off sale in their booth, so they had this priced at like $15. I picked it up for $7.50. It is a signed piece. I think it's a fantastic piece. Look at the interior of it. It's in great condition. I love the little speckled base in there. But it's been turned on a wheel. It's gorgeous. It's got some drip glaze on it. Beautiful pottery piece. I'm definitely putting this into Collected Treasures. If it doesn't sell down there, I don't even mind putting it in Antiques at Gresham Lake. People know that we sell pottery in our booth, so maybe that booth, they didn't really know it. They didn't know to look there. But either way, I think this was a great piece of pottery. Definitely grabbed that. We shop in our own malls at times. People have sales. They want to move different things, so something may not sell in their booth, it might sell in yours. Found him at Goodwill yesterday. Says on the bottom, hand painted by Milson and Lewis. But then it says made in China sticker, so I don't know. Maybe somebody painted over it. I thought he was really cool. He'd be great, in the study or anywhere where you have books and you want to prop this one. It's what he is, it's a bookend. Now, there wasn't a matching bookend, but I don't think it matters. I really don't. I love the look of this, really do. Look at this guy. I picked him up yesterday at Goodwill. I think he's so cute. I love this. I'm going to try to hold it so that the lid doesn't come off, but it is, I don't know if you can see it. See the frog? That is a frog on the top, and that's just this little tiny lid for this vase. It was $4. I think it's really cool. I love it, and it just really goes with the aesthetic that we have, especially down at or up at Antiques at Gresham Lake. This is kind of one of the aesthetics that we always carry in that booth up there. I recently took a risk on a really big piece of mid-century modern artwork that I found at Goodwill for $24.99, I think it was. It was humongous, and I gotta look and see if I've got a picture. If I do, I'm gonna put this right here. It was a fantastic piece. It was a fiberglass relief art piece, and I did a little video of it and put it out there on Facebook. I think I might have even boosted that post, but and we only put $89.99 on it, and that was a really good deal because these pieces are selling for about $200 on eBay and other platforms that they sell on. And it was an original piece from 1966. I thought it was awesome, and I'm just happy to report it did find a new home this week. So I think it's always worth taking a risk on these things. It's one of the things I've really tried to do in the last 6 months to a year, was to go ahead and take a risk on something big like that. I was kind of scared about that, because I was like, if I get stuck with this, you know, number one, I'm going to lose $25, because that's a pretty big buy-in for me. And number two, that's a big piece to store. So I was so happy that somebody found that and it has gone to a new home, or maybe it was even a reseller, because it was a great price even for resale. So take some risks. It might pay off. It might pay off. Okay, look at these. I love these. They're contemporary. You know, they're not anything vintage, but I just love the look of them. I think they're going to be fantastic for the fall. And I paid a little bit more for these. Now, these were, like this one, it has a price of $20 on it originally. Somebody paid $20 for it. I paid $3.50 for that one. And this one had a price of $22 on it, and I paid $4.50. Again, a little bit higher than I like to pay, but the look is so good. It's got that neutral toned color to it with like a whitewashing. Just perfect for any time of year, but especially for the fall that's coming up. I think this is going to go great in the booth. And here's another piece that I picked up for the staging in the booth expansion that's coming. This really pretty base. Again, a contemporary piece, but I love all the polka dots on it. They're indented. It's got a great look. The color is beautiful on this. And then I found these berry. There's only 2 of them, but I just think they look really nice together and will be really pretty. Love that color blue. Maybe when I get the booth all expanded, it depends. A lot of times I'm just busy and running and I don't have time to do these extra little videos, but I really would like to. So maybe once the booth is expanded, we have it all set up fresh with the fresh vignettes, and I've incorporated some of these new pieces into it, I can do a short little video to show you how it came out. So this is a ribbed vase. Again, it's a newer piece. It's not an antique piece or anything. Found this at Goodwill for $5. I think it has a great look. It's beautiful, in great condition. And I've put these like little, I think I showed these to you, these balls that are like made out of fiber. I've put these in it just for staging. And I'll just sell those with it. If the person doesn't want them, they'll dump them out and leave them. And people do that sometimes. Here is something I found that is vintage that I think is so cute. This copper cat. It hangs, it's got like this, I think that is brass? Probably, yeah, that's probably brass. Brass fixture with a handle, and you open it up, and I don't know if you can see it, it has hooks. This is like a little cat key holder that you hang on your wall before you leave, you know, to go out the door. It's where you hang your keys. I thought that was fantastic. It was $4.50, and you might think, whoa, that's a lot to pay. It did seem like a lot to pay for this, but we won't make a lot of money on this. I probably will put like $8.99 on it, but there are copper collectors. I just thought it was so unique, I could not let it sit there. It was just too unique of a piece for the person that collects the copper. It's got that copper mold look to it, so we'll see how it does. Okay, I'm probably going to have to stop here at this point and come back at the end of today, this afternoon, and finish up. So I might look different at that point because I'll have gone through a full day of work. Not that this isn't work either, but anyway, we'll go over a couple more things and then I'll probably come back later this evening. Alright, so this is something else that I found at that yard sale a couple videos back. We went to a yard sale. Trying to think, it was the house that it was just like the sheds that we looked in. I found like a little stool. I found some pumpkins. I've already gone over the pumpkins with you. So these are some more of those things. This was at that yard sale. I think these are cool. There's one in the booth right now that we've already got staged with some little bottle brush trees for our Christmas in July. It was a longer piece, but this is like a little ruler. You can hang it on the wall and put little miniatures in it, or you could set it like this on a table, and you could put some little, like we did, like some little bottle brush trees. I'll see if I can put a picture up here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. I thought that would be a great way to use this piece. Just a nice country style piece. I picked this up. I don't pick up tins a lot. They do sell. They don't have a long tail. They're close to a long tail in the sale, but they do sell. There are tin collectors. There's not as many of them as there used to be. There was a time where tins were a big deal, but there are people that are still tin collectors. I thought this was really nice. I love the color on it. It's Snickers. What year was it from? Says best before 1987, so it's from the 80s, probably the mid 80s. So I picked that up, and then I thought this was really, really pretty with the cherries on it. Or is that apples? Maybe that's apples. Now that I'm looking at that a little bit closer, I think those might be apples actually, and not cherries. I thought they were cherries. Yeah, those are definitely apples. So we got a little sifter here. This is the last thing I'll show you. This was some wooden fruit. And I'm just showing it to you in this pedestal tray. But I did find these at that sale, and they were in really great condition. No weird aroma or anything. They're in fantastic shape. I don't know if these are maple. I think they might be made out of maple wood. And a couple bananas. And a couple of, I would say that these are pears probably. They look like pears. And I'm not sure if these are supposed to be pineapples. If they are, they're really small pineapples, but the markings on them make me think they're supposed to be pineapples. Anyway, that wooden fruit, that can actually go for a pretty high price, so I was pretty excited to find that. Also found this really cool, shabby looking pedestal tray. It's metal. I think this will look great in the fall booth for staging, you know, a little vignette on top of it. So I was excited to find that. I found that at Goodwill. Again, $4.50. The prices at Goodwill, sometimes they're high and you don't make a big profit on it, but when you go out and you find things like this for 80 cents, all that fruit for 80 cents, it all weighs out in the end. Okay, I have got to go. Got to get to work on time. Don't like to be late, so I will be back and hopefully get this finished up this evening for you. Okay, I'm back from a full day of work, a little weary from the day. It's been a very tough day, to say the least, but got a few more things to show you, and then we're going to wrap this up. This is a picture that I picked up from Goodwill. What I love about this is look at that cat that's laying on the floor. Look at the expression on its face. I just love that. And we love cats here, so I couldn't pass this one up. So I decided definitely had to pick that up. And this was a piece that I picked up a while back over the summer. Joanne and I were doing like a scavenger hunt when we were out yard sailing, and we never did the follow-up video. And one of the things we had to look for was a turtle. And this was one of the pieces that I found. So he's so cute. He's actually wooden. A wooden piece that's carved and painted. I really think he's cute. Can't wait to get this one in the booth. And then to continue with the new theme that's going to be coming, you know, with the fall and the Halloween and everything, I did find this. So I have a couple pedestal dishes now that I can do little vignettes on top of. This one needs a good dusting, but I picked this one up at Goodwill also. Another one that was like over $4. So a lot of times, you know, something like this is used for display. You pay a little bit more for it, and you put a price on it, and if somebody wants to purchase it for their home, they can. But I think it's really cool. I love the black color on that. I was actually quite excited when we found this. I can't remember, Steve, if you found this or did somebody find it and Steve found this. Okay. When we were at that yard sale, Steve actually found this. It is a bell helmet, and he says he believes it's for a child. So it's a a young adult or a child's helmet. It has actually some extra snaps in there, I'm noticing. I'm going to look at that paperwork in a minute. But what I think is so cool about this is it's the, what do they call this? It's like a glitter speckled finish on it. This just screams the 70s to me. I thought this was so awesome. I love this. This would be so great for somebody who is a motorcycle enthusiast, or anybody that, you know, wants to just have this on display on their shelf, maybe in their garage or a man cave or, you know, anything like that. I just thought it was so super cool. Let me look at the paperwork real quick. Steve just told me it's called Metal Flake. I knew there was a name for it. But here is like the paperwork that came with it. This came out of Long Beach, California, and it has a date on it of 1973 there. I think this is so cool. I was trying to see if it says if it's for an adult or a child, but even the paperwork, you know, is ephemera that came with it is, you know, I think somewhat collectible. So I was pretty excited about this piece. We'll see what happens with it. Okay, and you did see me find this at the Garage Brothers warehouse, this Clue game. It's vintage. It's from 1963. Right there is the date on it. And I'm going to open it up and I'm going to show you the board a little bit more. I was a little quick in my video when I was hunting for it, but let's go over the board. The board had a copyright of 1960, but who remembers playing Clue? Clue was one of my favorite games when I was younger. I really enjoyed playing Clue. There's the conservatory, there's the billiard room, the library, the study. I mean, just look at that. It's so awesome. I love it. It's great. Let's see what's the same in the middle. It's just the Parker Brothers register. But it is actually not in bad condition. Doesn't have a weird aroma or anything. And all of the pieces were there. All the monies, or not the money, but the cards were there. So this is actually an intact vintage game from the early 60s. And I'm really excited about putting this in the booth. Let's just appreciate the characters a little bit more. I mean, look at them. They're so cool looking. I love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, that is it for this haul. I'm going to quit at this point. I've got some things I need to do tonight, and we're actually probably close to about 30 minutes at this point. So that is it for this haul. I hope everybody's having a great week and trying to find a way to survive this heat. It is ridiculous, ridiculous. I think I'm going to actually be able to mow the lawn, though. It has actually started to rain a little bit here and there finally, so we are starting to get the lawn to green up and grow again. So I probably will have to go out in this heat and mow the lawn sometime in the next couple days. Anyway, lots going on, very busy as usual, but we're going to keep bringing it to you. If I can get out on any hunting this weekend, if I can carve out any time, I'm going to take you along with me. If not, it'll probably be more haul videos. I still have plenty of stuff that we could go over, and that's it. Everybody get out there, find yourself your own treasures, put a great big smile on your face when you score something cool, and support your local people and take good care.